Hello, Paul. This is Brian again here in the shop in Quinter High School, and I'd like to kind of show you some prototypes I've kind of worked on last night after the email. And I appreciate you going to look at my Cepedo and giving me suggestions on the videos. That's a great suggestion. I hadn't thought of that, but you're right. It does need sound, and actually demonstration would be good too. So I appreciate that, Paul. So let me show you some of the stuff I've done. Eric, one of my students here, is videotaping. So Eric, if you can just kind of zoom in here a little bit. Last night I contemplated around after I listened to your email and got to thinking, well, man, it just needs to be to where you can put this on any razor blade and not make the actual product itself. And so I got to thinking about your fast cap and how it was just used with adhesive, and I started playing around with just a piece of paper and cutting a hole out of the center of it. And then I said, well, man, I need something slick. And so I went to my cabinet and pulled out the sanding disc, my big sanding disc, 12-inch sanding disc, and pulled this off the back. And obviously, if you step on this on the floor, it's really slick. So that was a slick material that I got. And then I actually just cut this square out of there with the hole in it. And here's the one I did. I just sprayed adhesive on it just like you did. Okay? And then I stuck it to the blade, just like this. So that's the paper one, and this is the one I made out of the back of the sanding disc. The material is kind of slick, kind of Teflon-y stuff. So it acts as a sled, and so actually what that does, looking at it more, it just sets that off the surface and acts as a lever and actually protects. It just sets that razor blade off that surface just a little bit. So this is the one that I put the self-adhesive on and stuck it to the razor blade itself. And then, of course, you could just use any small razor blade holder. That's handy, and it doesn't interfere with how it locks into the razor blade holder, and lock it in there. So I'm going to show you, Paul, because it's so interesting. I also did one with epoxy. Eric, can you get that one too? And it works good, but it's just cumbersome, and it's not both sides. Obviously, this is pretty neat because it is both sides once you stick it on there. Well, I'm going to stick one with the razor blade on here, and I've got a couple of kids' projects, and Eric, can you just get that? See, that is just bad, and you don't want to scrape that razor blade on there and ruin that nice surface that you've put that finish on. And so I'm going to take this one out now and put this one back in, the one with the cap on it. And razor cap, that'd be a pretty slick name, since fast cap, go with your fast cap. So you can see how that just slides on there. It acts as a sled and just slides over the top of that finish and doesn't hurt that finish at all. Well, I'll switch you places, Eric. So we found a couple runs on this project. You think I'd be a better teacher than that. But, so can you see that, Eric? I have to go in this. Can you see my hand there? Can you see that?
Yeah, you can see.
Okay, so you can see that run right there. We're just going to scrape that off. Just going to scrape that off, and those things just acting as a sled. Not hurting anything, but just taking that run right off. And so here's another one down here. That is so neat. There's a little one right there. Well, you just be careful, slice that run off of there and not hurt anything. Because you don't want to do anything more than just take now your steel wool and wax that back to a flush surface, and you've got it. So I don't know, Paul, what do you think? That I just put the self-adhesive on there, kind of like you did your fast cap, and so you would maybe sell, a package of razor blades and a holder and maybe a package of razor caps. I don't know, or maybe just sell the razor caps, but that's the idea. So I look forward to hearing from you again, Paul, and I appreciate the correspondence. Thank you. Bye.